Today we're looking at Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2 in their newly remastered form. I haven't played this version yet, so this is me digging into reviews, previews, and what critics are already talking about. My goal is to help you decide if this is worth grabbing on day one, or just another game to sit comfortably on your backlog. Welcome to Ratings Rundown. If you aren't old like me and weren't around for the Wii era, Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 are legendary platformers. The first game blew me away with its gravity-bending levels, orchestral music, and visuals that felt like Nintendo was pushing the hardware beyond its capabilities. The sequel stepped up the design, added more variety, and is often cited as one of the best second acts a franchise has ever had when it comes to platformers. I definitely agree, but let's see what Astrobot can do with his sequel. So now they've packaged together both beautiful Galaxy games for Switch and Switch 2 with refreshed visuals, UI tweaks, and added options. But because these are remasters, there's a balance to strike. How much new do you expect versus how much of just cleaner version you will get of what you already know and love? For the overall visuals and tech, the upgrade is noticeable. Textures, lighting, and environmental detail are cleaned up compared to the older Switch rendition. The UI and menus have been modernized for smoother navigation, but the translation of motion controls / pointer mechanics has drawn some flack. Reviewers say the cursor / targeting sometimes feels less precise than in original versions. I already know I will agree with this because I personally did not like having to use the touchscreen when I played Galaxy 1 in the 3DS All-Stars collection. On the Switch 2 version, many mention sharper resolution enhancements cause duh. The core platforming and level design remains as strong as ever. These levels still host some of Mario's most creative and memorable sequences. Galaxy 2 especially gets praised for pushing design boundaries, more daring layouts, new ideas, and tighter mechanical tweaks. Assist mode is a welcome addition for newer players. Features like more hit points, auto return when falling off platforms, help reduce frustration without completely dumbing things down. This is perfect for my 6-year-old son that loves to play Mario, but can get frustrated easily like most kids. Also, why I'm a firm believer in every game should have difficulty settings, but that's a topic for another video. A loud section of the internet response is about whether the upgrade justifies the cost. Some feel it's pricey for just a remaster, while others argue that getting both games together, especially with all the visual enhancements and modern features, is worth the price. Some complaints are that parts of the game visually look worse than before in certain spots, so maybe that's just something they missed when they were giving it a new coat of paint. You can tell I obviously know so much about game development. The orchestral soundtrack continues to earn praise. Many reviews say the music is a highlight and helps preserve that epic traveling through space feel. Voice work is minimal, as expected, which is good because Mario games rarely lean heavy on dialogue. The narrative in Galaxy 1 is stronger for those who actually pay attention to story. Galaxy 2 is less story heavy, more pure gameplay, and that's how I like it. Never have and never will play a Mario game for its story. It's all about gameplay and level design for me. That's why I keep coming back. Many critics and fans compare how these remasters stack up against the 3D All-Stars as expected. The improvements here are being held to a higher bar because Galaxy games have always been fan favorites. The remaster is also seen as long overdue. Many feel Mario Galaxy deserved modern treatment years ago, not just re-releases with minimal changes, and there was a lot of frustration when the 3D All-Stars compilation had Galaxy 1 and not 2 because it's unanimous that Galaxy 2 is a better game. Now to highlight some of these strengths and weaknesses that the critics are talking about. Starting with strengths, timeless level and gameplay design. Gorgeous orchestral soundtrack that still hits. UI improvements and accessibility features help modern players. Visual upgrades breathe new life into older worlds. A packaged value. 2 beloved games in one. For weaknesses, the pointer / motion control translation might feel off at times. Some parts may look worse or less consistent in the remaster. Pricing is a pain point for many. Is what's new enough to justify the cost? If you played the originals and still have them, the incentive to repurchase may feel weaker. If I had to guess, this remaster is going to land in my rotation at some point in time. The graphical polish, accessibility tweaks, and package of 2 top-tier games feels like a strong incentive for me. My concern is that the control tweaks might introduce some awkwardness, and obviously the price is not making me want to jump in right away. But overall, this looks like one of those remasters that earns its place even though it might not earn its price. On Metacritic, it's currently sitting at an 88, generally favorable, based on 43 critic reviews. That's a solid score, especially for a remaster. Critics are agreeing more on why it's good now. Cleaner visuals, smoother UI, and preserving what made the originals great, than arguing over whether it's worth owning. That argument of is it worth it is more in the community space and not something most critics are concerned about. That's where we are right now with the Critic reviews for Super Mario Galaxy plus Galaxy 2. Thank you for joining me on another ratings rundown, and let me know down below if you plan on playing day one or if you're gonna wait to see more reviews. Personally, I have way too many new games to play before I can jump into this remaster, but the temptation is real. If you like what you saw here, hit that like button, and I know you aren't subscribed yet, so you should probably do that too. And if for some reason you still want to see more of my face, go check out my socials to get more gaming news, reviews, first impressions, and random skits. Okay, now it's time for you to get back to gaming, and for me to get back to being a dad. Peace.